What's up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, I'm doing Chelsea's 2020/21 Champions League winning team. Where are they now? Obviously, I've done this with a few other teams. Pretty easy. I go through the starting 11 from the final. Where are they now? Then we'll have a quick look at the bench as well and just have a quick look at them as well. Starting off in goal that game and in goal for the whole season, one of the best players and the most crucial players in that season, you'd say. It was Edouard Mendy, who is obviously now at Al Ali in Saudi Arabia. Moved there in 2023 after 3 years at Chelsea. Obviously, kind of fell out of favour, started getting less game time, and he's been there ever since. Kind of joined when there was the big wave of everyone else joining um, to Saudi as well. Now, Chelsea played a sort of three at the back with wing back. So the first centre back, the captain at the time, Chelsea legend, you'd have to say, Aspilicueta, played 349 games for Chelsea between 2012 and 2023. Then he left in 2023 to go to Atletico Madrid, and then 2025, just earlier this year, joined Sevilla. So yeah, still playing at Sevilla to this day. Obviously, Chelsea legend, was captain for a while as well, and yeah, great player. Now still going at Sevilla. Now, the centre back next to him, a man who's had some transfer rumours floating about recently. Another guy who was crucial to this team as well. In his first season at the club was Thiago Silva, who was actually a free agent now after leaving Fluminense. He was there between 2024 and 2025. I believe he's just left and he's kind of looking for a move to be back closer to his family, who still live in London. Rumours I was hearing about maybe like West Ham. I mean, his son plays in the Chelsea academy, so maybe he just signs back to Chelsea. A nice experienced player. He can still play, but he's also good for leadership. And I mean, he's still a very good player. He was only at Chelsea a year and a half ago and was probably our best defender then. So I don't see why not. He could be a decent signing for a lot of teams in Europe. And the last centre back next to them, a man who has won, I think, two Champions Leagues since, maybe just one. I think just one. Antonio Rudiger, obviously, but now at Real Madrid, joined them in 2022. So I believe that was just after they won the Champions League against Liverpool, and then he obviously won it when they beat Dortmund in 2024. So yeah, he's won another Champions League since then. Obviously, been at Real Madrid. Kind of gone behind in the pecking order a few times, come back in. Obviously, had a few controversies with some of his actions and you'd say not very good stuff, like when he was like throwing stuff at the referee. Obviously, a bit dodgy, bit of anger management. But this guy was a very good centre back, and I'm upset he left because Chelsea's defense, ever since sort of these guys, these three centre backs or defenders left, the defense hasn't really been the same. Obviously, it's looking a bit better now, but still a bit dodgy, and there's not really any depth. Now, the only man who is still at Chelsea from the starting 11, the captain right now, started at sort of right wing back. Reece James, still at the club, been finally injury free for a while, having a really good season, having some really good performances sort of between right back and in midfield as well. And yeah, hopefully we finally see this guy reach his true potential, staying injury free will be crucial to Chelsea this season, definitely, or I mean, he already is, and probably crucial for England at the World Cup as well if they want to win it. But yeah, Reece James, the only man from the starting 11 who's still at the club, been at the club for ages, obviously the captain now, and hopefully he's here forever. And then in midfield, no, sorry, not in midfield, across the other side from him, sort of left wing back, a man who has just left Chelsea fairly recently, Ben Chilwell, now at Strasbourg, sort of Chelsea's feeder club, but obviously he's kind of gone the other way. Spent last season, or some of last season at Crystal Palace, winning the FA Cup there after losing a final or two. And now he's at Strasbourg in France, which I think is a good move to him. Get some game time. He barely played the last couple of years at Chelsea, and then he was at Crystal Palace like half a season. But yeah, I think it's good that he sort of moved away from the limelight and try and get himself a spot for the World Cup for England, which is probably the ultimate goal for him. Now, the first midfielder, a man who's one of two players in this list to have left Chelsea for Arsenal, although he has now left Arsenal as well. Jorginho, now at Flamengo in Brazil, and joined them for the Club World Cup. Still there now, obviously. Played against PSG the other day. This guy, I mean, he's a bit of a pin merchant, but he was good for Chelsea. He came like third in the Ballon d'Or. Left for Arsenal, which is a bit annoying, but didn't really do heaps there. Now in Brazil, I mean, this guy looked the same for like ever. It's been so long. Like, he just looks the same. I've just noticed that looking at this picture. But yeah, this guy now at Flamengo after a couple years at Arsenal following his leave from Chelsea. Now, the guy next to him, a man who was probably the most important and best player for Chelsea that crossed this season, N'Golo Kante, who is at Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia, been there ever since 2023 as well. I mean, there's been some rumors about him leaving, perhaps, but yeah, he's still at Al Ittihad in Saudi Arabia. This guy was crazy in that Champions League season. Basically, every game he played, he was like man of the match. Just every game, best player on the pitch. I mean, they didn't know what to do with him under the opposition. And yeah, I mean, Chelsea have Caicedo now, but there was a time where it was looking like, are we ever going to get good again if we don't have Kante? Now, the man next up who scored the goal in the final obviously has retired from winning trophies because he did join Arsenal. So he did have his taste of a Champions League at Chelsea, Kai Havertz. But yeah, this guy, he was very sort of inconsistent at Chelsea, kind of moved around between the positions. Still at Arsenal, hasn't really had a nailed on good run of games in his sort of main position. You'd imagine it's probably in the 10, but they have like Erdegaard and Eze now, and then up front they've got Gyökeres, who's not great, but they've got Marino, who's a better striker than but all of the Arsenal strikers. So you'd kind of imagine that Havertz, there's not much space for him there, really. Obviously, he's about to come back from injury. I think he just has. But yeah, I'm not sure how much game time he's going to get at Arsenal and if he's going to win any more trophies. Now, a man who left Chelsea to another Premier League rival, Mason Mount. This was a sad day when he left, but he has. I mean, the last couple of years at Man U has not been great. Although he's turned a bit of a corner this season, seems to be going all right now at Man U. But yeah, I was sad that he left. But I feel like Chelsea have adequately replaced him now. But seeing him at Man U just kind of doesn't feel right to me. It just feels strange, and also you like barely played, so I kind of forgot he even existed, you know. Anyway, the last guy who was starting up front, Timo Werner. This guy was like a bit of a pace merchant, didn't really do too well at Chelsea. Obviously went back to RB Leipzig, went on loan to Spurs for a bit, still at Leipzig now, just in the Bundesliga. And I mean, yeah, I think he's kind of he's a weird player, really. Like, he's rapid, but then, like, at Chelsea, he couldn't really do heaps. Didn't score too many goals, missed a few easy chances, and at the end of the day, like, I don't think he was that good, especially for Chelsea. Now, the bench on that day, a few interesting names. Quite a few have obviously left the club by now. Obviously, Kepa is at Arsenal. Willy Caballero is the Chelsea assistant coach. Marcus Alonso, I believe he's at Celta Vigo. Andres Christensen at Barcelona. Kurt Zuma, I believe he's like Saudi or something. Obviously, ever since the cat incident, he's been a bit dodgy. Emerson, he was at West Ham. Obviously, Pulisic doing well at AC Milan. Kovacic been at Man City. Hudson-Odoi at Nottingham Forest. Ziyech, I believe he's back in Morocco now. Billy Gilmore at Napoli, and Giroud just re-signed in France after a stint in MLS as well. But yeah, that is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.